Welcome to SkyGrid Tutorial. My name is Jonah Beecroft. In this section, you will learn profit and loss formula. We will teach you how to calculate the profit or loss percent. You will learn how to find the cost price, and you will learn how to find the selling price. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to solve challenging problems under profit and loss. Get ready with your writing material. Let's proceed immediately. Now, there are three formulas on the screen. These three formulas are the formula we will use to solve problems that involve profit and loss calculations. Now, the first formula, which is the formula in green color, says profit or loss percent. This formula is adjustable formula. It is used to find the profit percent, and it is used to find the loss percent. So profit or loss percent is equals to profit or loss over cost price multiplied by 100 over 1. That means you can use this formula, the formula in green, formula 1, to find the percent and the profit percent. You can also use it to find the loss percent. To find the profit percent, this formula will be adjusted as profit over cost price multiplied by 100 over 1. And to find the loss percent, you will use loss over cost price times 100 over 1. So this first formula is used to calculate the profit percent and the loss percent. Either we are calculating profit percent or we are calculating loss percent. If we are calculating profit percent, we use profits over cost price multiplied by 100 over 1. And if we are calculating loss percent, we use the loss over profit, over cost price times 100 over 1. Profit arises when the selling price is greater than the cost price, and you incur a loss when the cost price is lesser than the selling price. That is to say, selling price is equals to what? Cost price plus what? Profits. You must first of all calculate the profit or loss before you express them over the cost price multiplied by 100 to get the percentage profit or percentage loss. And the second formula, that is a formula in green, in blue, says the cost price is equals to the selling price over 1 plus or minus profit or loss percent. That is to say, to calculate the cost price, you'll be given two things. You'll be given the selling price or the percentage profit. That is if it is the question is connected to profit, or you'll be given the loss percent if the question is in connection to a loss. So that this is the formula you will use at all time to find the cost price of any item given the selling price and the percentage profit or the percentage loss. The formula 3, which is the formula in pink, is the formula we use in calculating the selling price. The selling price is equals to 1 plus or minus profit or loss percent times the cost price. You will be able to calculate the selling price when you are given the cost price and you are given the profit percent if the question is in connection to profit, or you will be given the loss percent if the question is talking of what? Loss. Now, the cost price is the cost, the amount it costs you, the amount you pay for something, while the selling price is the amount you gain for selling something. Now we are going to go into practice with this 3 adjustable formula. It is called adjustable formula because you can use it to calculate the profit and you can use it to calculate the loss, but not at the same time. Either you will be calculating the profit at a time or calculating the loss at a time. Yes, we cannot calculate profit and loss in this calculation. That is why the title says profit or loss formula. Either we are calculating the profit percent or we are calculating the loss percent. That is formula 1. Formula 2, either we are calculating to calculate the cost price, either we are using the profit percent or the loss percent. We cannot choose both. To find the selling price, we will be given the profit percent or the loss percent, and also be given the cost price. Now let us go into practice. We are going to solve some past examination questions with these 3 adjustable formula. The first question inside is taken from 2014 question 3. And the question reads, a woman bought a grinder for 60,000. She sold it at a loss of 15%. How much did she sell it? A, 51,000. B, 50,000. C, 53,000. And D, 52,000. Now, the question says, how much did he sell it? Because you say, how much did we sell it? Which means we'll be looking at we're calculating the selling price. And the formula for calculating the selling price, as explained before, is selling price is equals to 1 plus or minus profit or loss percent times cost price. And the question here is saying is in connection to a loss of 50%. A loss of 15%. And because it is talking about a loss of 15%, that formula will be adjusted as cost selling price is equals to 1 minus loss percent multiplied by the cost price. Selling price now is 1 minus 0.15 times 60,000. 0.15 being 15% converted to decimal. while the 60,000 is the what? Cost price. It becomes selling price is equal to 0.85, which is 1 minus 0.15 times multiplied by 60,000. And that eventually gives you the selling price is equals to what? 51,000. The correct choice there, the correct option there is option A, which is A, 50,000. Let's take another word, question. And this question is taken from 1982, question 5. And it reads, when a dealer sells a bicycle for 81 naira, he makes a profit of 8%. What did he pay for the bicycle? The options are there. A, 74 naira, B, 74.52 naira, C, 75 naira, and D, 75.52. Solution. What is the question saying? What did he pay for the bicycle? What did he pay? It's asking the question, the cost price. So the cost price of the bicycle. A dealer sell a bicycle for 81 naira and made a profit of 8%. What is the cost of the bicycle? And we are going to use this other and the second formula, the formula for finding the cost price, which is cost price is equal to selling price over 1 plus minus profit or loss percent. Plus minus profit or loss percent. And because we are talking about a profit, then we adjust that formula to be cost price is equals to selling price over 1 plus profit percent. And the profit percent is 8%. That means selling price now, which is 81 over 1 plus 0.08. 0.08 being 8% converted to what? Decimal. Now we have 81 over 1.08. And this gives us 75 naira, which is the what? Answer. And the options you have A, 74, B, 74.52, and C, 75. C is the correct word option. Let's take another question. This question is taken from 1981, question 6. And it reads, Awudu bought an article for 50,000 naira and sold it to Femi at a loss of X%. Femi later sold the article to Oche at a profit of 40%. If Femi made a profit of 10,000 naira, find the value of X. Wow. The cost price is not given. The selling price is not given. The only thing that is given is the cost price that I would purchase the article. And another thing that is given is percentage profits and the actual percentage made on cost price. So we are given the percentage profit on cost price to be 10,000 naira, as it is shown in the question. Say if Femi made a profit of 10,000 naira, find the value of X. Femi made a profit of 10,000 naira, find the value of X. And the 10,000 naira is equivalent to 40% of what? The cost price. Now what we need to do here is to express the percentage profit to the actual what? Percent of that, to the actual what? Profit. Now, how much did Awudu sell the article to Femi? It is not known. But what is known is 40% profit on cost, which is equals to what? 10,000. 40% profit on the cost price, which is equals to what? 10,000. So to solve this question, let Y be the cost price that Femi bought the article from Awudu. 40% of Y is equals to 10,000. What we do here? This is an equation. What we need to do here is to divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient of Y. And the coefficient of Y is 40. So it becomes 40 over 40 is equals to, 40% over 40% is equals to 10,000 over 40%. And 40% is as good as 0.04. 0.4. So we are going to use 0.4 to divide 0.4 in the Y side of the equation, and the other side of the equation we use 10,000. We have used 0.4 to divide 10,000, and that will give us Y is equals to 25,000. So Y is equals to 25,000. That means Femi bought the article from Awudu at the cost of what? 25,000. But S is equals to percentage loss. We are looking for the percentage loss. Now that we have known how much Femi bought the article from Awudu, so we are going to find the percentage loss. Now what is the loss? The loss is cost price of the article, that is what Awudu bought the article, minus what he sold the article to what? Femi. Then the loss now is 50,000 minus what? 25,000, which is what? Is equal to what? 25,000. So the percentage loss is 25,000. Okay, this one is 25,000 over 50,000 times 100 over 1. It's supposed to be 25,000, which is the loss incurred, over 50,000, which is the cost price of the article, times what? 100 over 1. When you solve this, you have 50%. So 50% is the percentage loss, and the right option is option what? Option B. Now we proceed without wasting time to the next question. This question is 1981 question 9 of 1981. Now the question reads: by selling an article for 45 naira, a man makes a profit of 8%. For how much should he have sold it in order to make a profit of what? 32%. Yes. He sold the article for 45% and made a profit of 8%. Now, how much will he have sold that article so that he make a profit of 32%? This question demands us to use the two formula. We are going to find the cost price. After finding the cost price, and we will now peg the selling price at a profit of 32%. So the cost price of the article as regard to our formula after adjusting it is cost price is equal to selling price over 1 plus profit percent. Because the question is talking about profits. That is to say 45 over 1 plus 8%. 8% is the same thing as 0.08. That is 45% over 1.08. And that will give us 41.666. That means 41.666 is the cost price of the article. Now we are going to fix a profit of 32% to the cost price. That will be now our selling price. So we are going to use the second formula, which is selling price is equals to 1 plus profit percent times cost price, which is the same thing as 1 plus 0.32. 0.32 is the margin, which is 32%. 1 plus 0.32 times 41.666, which is the cost price. That eventually give you 1.32 times 41.666. And we arrive at the selling price at 55 naira. So the article will be sold at 55 naira to make a profit of what? 32%. And the right option is option D. Option D. Let's fire on. Now we are taking so many questions because we want to make you, to let you know the various way question can be set or question can be discussed or forged under this topic. By the time we expose you to various way question will be set, you'll be able to tackle this question in examination situation without difficulty. So this question is taken from 2007 and it is question 30. It says, a man make a profit of 5% when he sold an article for 60,000 naira. How much would he have sold the article to make a profit of 26%? This question is almost the same type of question we've just finished. What we need to do is to first of all find the cost price of the article and now mark it 26% profits. So we are using the two formula. The formula for finding the cost price to find what it costs this man to buy that article that is sold 60,000 naira. Thereafter, we find how much we sell it to make a profit of 26%. Let's go. Now, the cost price of that article is selling price over 1 plus profit percent, which is the same thing as 60,000 over 1.05. 1.05 is increase of 5% to the cost price. That will give us 57,142 naira 85 kobo, which is the cost price. Now, to find the selling price to make a profit of 26,000, you use the selling price formula. We say selling price is equals to 1 plus profit percent times what? Cost price, which is the same thing as 1.26, 2.26 being 26% markup for the profits. 1.26 multiply cost price, which is 57,142 naira 85 kobo. That will result in 72,000, which is the what? Answer. Then the right option from the option is what? Option B, 72,000 naira. Is that clear? Are there any question? Okay, let me ask you. Why did we use the two formula to evaluate this question? You are right. We use the two formula to evaluate this question because we first of all need to find the cost price. In doing that, we use the cost price formula. And after finding the cost price, we need to find the selling price that will yield a profit of 20%. In doing that, we use the selling price formula. Let's proceed. Now, this question is taken from Senior Secondary School Examination 2010 under the theory section, and the question read: Madam Kwakweya imported a quantity of frozen fish costing 400. The good attracted an import duty of 15% of its cost. She also paid a sales tax of 10% of the total cost of the good, including the import duty, and then sold the good for 660. Calculate the percentage profits. Wow. Now, what we require to do now is to find the actual cost of the quantity of frozen fish. And the actual cost will be the cost, which is 400, plus the import duty. 15% of 400 is the import duty, and also we are going to add 10% of the sum of the cost plus import duty, and that will give us what? At the cost price of the quantity of frozen fish. Thereafter, we minus the total cost from the selling price to get the profit. Lastly, we express the profit over the cost price multiplied by 100 over 1. That is how we are going to approach this question. So let's go. Now the cost price is 400. 15% import duty of 400, that is 15% of 400 is 60,000. 15% of 400 is gotten by 0.15 times 400. 0.15 being 15% converted to decimal. That will give us 60. Then the next thing we will do is to take 10% sales tax of the sum of 460. 400 plus 60 is what? 460. So 10% of 460 will give us 46. So the sum 46, 60, the sum of 400, 46, and 60 will give us 506. This is the cost price of the quantity of fish. But this quantity of fish was sold at 660. So we are going to find the profit. And profit is selling price minus what? Cost price. In this case, the selling price is 660 and the cost price is 506. So that the selling price will be 660 minus 506. So the profit is 154. To find the profit percent, we will express this profit over the cost price multiplied by 100 over 1, which is what we've just done here. 150, which is the profit, over 506, 506, which is the cost price, multiplied by 100 over 1. And this gives us what? 30%. So the profit percent is what? 30%. Let's fire on to another question. This is another question, and this question is also taken from SSCE Theory Section 2000. That is year 2000, the theory section of SSCE in year 2000. The question says, a bookshop has 650 copies of book for sale. The books were marked at 75% per copy in order to make a profit of 30%. A bookseller bought 300 copies at 5% discount. If the remaining copies are sold at 75 naira each, calculate the percentage profits the bookseller will make on the whole goods. Now, the first thing we will do in this question is to find out the discount. We find out the discount, and we are going to calculate the cost price of each book, because the selling price for each book, for one copy of the book, is 75%, and that 75% will yield a profit of 30%. So first of all, we are going to find the cost price of each book. Then we are going to find the discount that was reduced to the bookseller, and then we calculate the percentage profits. Now, selling price at 30% profit for each copy is equals to 75 naira. Selling price is at 30% profit for each copy is worth 75 naira, and the total stock of books is equals to 650. That means we have 660 copies of what the book. Now we want to find out the discount that was given to the bookseller, and the discount is what? 5%. So we are to calculate the discount, it becomes 5% of 75 naira, and 5% of 75 naira is the same thing as 0.05 times 75 naira, which gives us 71 naira 25 kobo. That means the bookseller bought the 300 copy 71 naira 25 kobo each. And so we are going to find out the total cost, the total selling price of the 300 copies of what? The book. So the selling price of the 300 copy is 300 times 71.25, and that gives us 21,375. The next thing we are going to do is to find out the selling price of the remaining 350 copies, because there are 650. 300 was purchased at 71.25. Then the remaining one will be 350 that was purchased at 75 naira, and the total selling price will be 350 times 75, which is 26,250 naira. So that the total selling price is going to be the selling price of the 300 copies that was sold at discount, which is 21,375, and selling price of the other 350 copy that was sold at 75 naira, which is 26,250. So the total selling price become 47,625 naira. Now, what is the cost price of the 650 copies of book? To find the cost price of the 660 copies of book, we are first of all going to find the cost price of each copy of book. And in the question we were informed that 75 naira was at a profit of 30%. So to find the cost price of one book, we use the cost price formula, which says cost price is equals to selling price over 1 plus profit percent. Selling price in this case is 75 naira. So it now becomes 75 over 1.3, which is equals to 57.692. So each copy of this book costs 57.692. Now, what is the total cost? What is the total cost of the 650 copies? The total cost now will be 57.692 times 650 copies, which will give us 37,500. Now we have gotten the selling price of the books, and we have gotten the cost price of the books. The next thing we will do is to calculate the profit, and the profit is equal to selling price minus cost price, and this is the same thing as 47,625 minus 37,500. Now we arrive at the profit, which is what? 10,125. Now, do not forget that 300 copies of the books were sold at a discount. So, what we do here is to express the profits over the cost price, which is 10,125 over cost price. The cost price is 37,500. That's 100 over 1, which eventually give us 27%, and 27% is the correct answer. Let's forge ahead. We take several other questions before we call it a day, to expose you to how to tackle question in this topic. Now, the next question is taken from 2014 theory section. And this question says, a television set was marked for sales at 760 in order to make a profit of 20%. The television set was actually sold at a discount of 5%. Calculate correct to do significant figure the actual percentage profit. Well, we first of all find the cost of the television. Then after finding the cost of the television, then we find the profit. Thereafter, we express the profit over the cost price multiplied by 100 over 1. That is what we will do in this question. Now let's proceed. Now you say, first find the cost price. The cost price is given by the formula cost price is equal to selling price over 1 plus profit percent, which is the same thing as 760 over 1 plus 0.2. 0.2 being the percentage mark profit. That is the same thing as 760 over 1.2, which gives us 633.33. So the selling price of that article that was sold is 633.33. The article was sold at a discount of 5%. Discount of 5% means that you reduce the cost price, the selling price by 5%. And to reduce the selling price by 5% is the same thing as 760 times 0.95. That is to know the actual selling price. So the selling price is 722. 760 minus the discounted price, which is 722, gives us what? 38. So 38 naira is what? The discounts. Now, the total profit is selling price minus cost price. The selling price is 760 and the cost price is 633. So when I have 760 minus 633.333, that one is 0.333, not comma 333. And eventually we have 126.667 is now the profits. Do not forget that it was sold at a discount, and discount has the effect of reducing the profit. So the actual profit made is 126.667 minus 38, which is what? The discount. That will eventually we will arrive at 88.6663. Then this is now the profit. 88.663 now is now the profit. So the percentage profit is 88.663 divide 633.333 times 100 over 1. And that will give us what? 14%. And that is the answer. Is that clear? Any question? In the absence of question, let's proceed. Now, this question is taken from 2009 question. 2009 question 4. It says, a man bought a second-hand photocopying machine for 34,000. He serviced it at a cost of 2,000 and then sold it at a profit of 15%. What was the selling price? This question is very simple. The cost price is 34,000 and he did service on the photocopying machine with 2,000. So that the total cost price is going to be 34,000 plus 2,000, which is what? 36,000. And we are going to mark up the profit at 15% of what? 36,000. And that is all. So let's proceed. Now the cost price is 34,000. The service cost is 2,000. Then the total cost is 36,000. Profit of 15% is sent in as 1.15 times 36. Eventually, we just arrive at what? 41 naira 400. 41,400. And that is what the answer. Now we are going to the last question in this tutorial. The last question is taken from year 2003, and that is question 5. And the question reads, a woman buys 270 oranges for 18,000 and sell at 5 for 40,000. No, and sell at 5 for 40 naira. What is our profits? What is our profit? Now what we need to do here is to calculate how much each of the orange costs. And to calculate how much each of the orange costs, we are going to divide 40 by 5 because you sell 5 for 40 naira. So each orange costs 40 over 5, which is 40 over 5, which is what? 8 naira. Since each orange costs 8 naira, then the total cost of the orange is 8 naira times 270. And whatever you have, you minus it from the selling price, and we will arrive at what? The profits. So let's go. The cost price is 180%. Is it true? Let us go back to the question. A woman buys 275 oranges for 1,800. Okay, that is correct. The cost price is 1,800. Please assist me to correct this. The cost price is 1,800, not 18,000. It's 1,800. So the cost of one orange is 8 naira. How did we arrive at this 8 naira? It is 40 divided by 4 because the woman sold 5 for 40 naira. So each orange will cost 40 divided by what? 5, which is what? 8 naira. So the total 270 oranges, the selling price will be 270 times 8, which is what? 2,160. Then the profit is just 2,160 minus 1,800, and the answer is what? 360. And that is what? The correct answer. And the correct option from the question is option what? Is option D. By this last question, we have come to the end of this tutorial. If you have any challenge in the question we have solved so far, or you have any question, you can reach out at our comment section, and we will not fail to respond to your question as soon as possible. And if you want to have access to other of our tutorials, you can. Our channel name is Jonah Beecroft Obi. And if you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us by calling our phone number at 080 3554 2119. This number is also our WhatsApp number. You can even WhatsApp us and we'll respond immediately. Thank you for learning with us. We are looking forward to seeing you in our next tutorial, which is going to be indices. Our next tutorial is going to be what? Indices. We are looking forward to seeing you. Bye. God bless you.